Coming up on today's episode, good day, YouTube. Welcome back to my bench. This is DERB. I am your host, Doug, as most of you know. This radio that you see in front of the camera at the moment is, in fact, the Baylor 6. Here's the rest of the parts over here. The Little Bastard, if you will. And Bill, I apologize, but this video today is not going to be on the Little Bastard. Instead, I am going to, this part here, you may recall in the rest of the video when we get to it, probably will be Friday, but don't quote me on that, geez, Pete's. I have the part ordered, and it should have been here by Monday, but as of this time right now, this is Saturday, by the way, it hasn't shown as shipped yet. I have a tracking number, but it hasn't shown as shipped. Now, at the same time, I ordered, not the same time, actually it was later, much later, I ordered a transistor for the radio that we are going to work on today, the Magnavox AM-80, as you no doubt saw in the thumbnail and the title and things like that, if you viewed those. So this is going to have to wait until the next video or until I get those parts. Like I said, I ordered the parts for this before I ordered the ones for the AM-80, and these have not, the guy never did ship them, never did give me a tracking number, never did anything for a couple of days, and then finally he came up with a tracking number, and he still hasn't taken it to the post office. So they're saying Wednesday, their estimate, so I don't know if he'll get it Wednesday or not. The guy's just in Dayton, Ohio. It's not like he's a long way away. The one that sold the part for the AM-80 that I am getting is in Monticello, Indiana, and he got on the stick and ordered that right, or sent that right away. Let me show you what I'm working on here besides this, because this is not it. I'm going to carefully put this back in this little baggie, and we will get back to that when the time comes. This little bastard is just that. He's little. And as it is little, things break. And as you'll see in the, or you have seen, or will have seen, or something, I don't know, one of the transistors, the leads just plain out broke off on it. So that's the one there, as a matter of fact. You can see there's only one lead on it. So, alright, let me get the other ones. Alright, these radios, as you can see, are the ones in question, the tale of two radios. The one on this side here, I guess it would be the left, is the worst of the two as far as cosmetically speaking. This one here is a fairly decent looking radio, and as such I used the parts out of this one to repair this one, and I am going to post up some old video of this. I did this about a year ago, and one of the things I was doing back then, and I try not to do anymore, is not put the title or the name of what I'm working on in the title, because it makes it really difficult to look up. I think these were listed under just an update or something like that, and there was no mention of the radios themselves in the title. So when I go back through looking for that video, it's very difficult to find sometimes, and I don't like doing that. So from now on, I'm trying to put whatever it is I'm working on in the title so that I can instantly go back and look for video footage from that. And so, like I said, I will put that in here. Basically explains what I did, and then we'll come back. This one here is the older one of the two, or not older one, but the actually in the worst shape. I think I ended up paying $7.50 a piece for these on eBay, and of course whatever the shipping was. But This one I did a complete ECAP recap on, and it is now working.
Emergencies and give with outrageous
That is a local station
Here's
there.
how it works. You'll learn the proven plan.
This one here has been a little more of a problem. Now, I did replace the audio caps in this one, mainly because when you turned on, put power to it, if you put your ear right up to the speaker, you could just barely hear some audio hiss from the speaker. And to me, that just tells me that the caps in the audio section need to be replaced, because that's, you know, usually a sign that they do need to be replaced. So I did that. There was, I believe, 3 altogether. One was a coupling cap from the volume control to the first amplifier or transistor in the audio section. And the other 2 were just basically, one was a bypass, I think, and the other one was just a filter type capacitor, I believe, in the audio section. Whatever, there was 3 of them. Two of them were 10 microfarad, and one was a 2, I used a 2.2, I think, to replace it. And once I did that, it brought the audio back. Now, that to me is a way to do this, because when you have a problem, first off, you don't know if the radio section even works or not, and because you have no audio. Anyway, on this, I did determine that there was no radio from this, none at all. And then I basically took it over the top of this, and when I got down around the IF section, which is in here, this thing started perking like crazy. I mean, I heard the signal just as loud and clear as you ever want to hear anything. And so that told me, obviously, that the problem was before the IF. What I thought I would end up doing was, and what I did do, was take the direct output from the RF signal generator and hook up the ground to the radio. And then I took a probe and basically went right to the base of the oscillator, mixer oscillator transistor, and nothing came through. And again, that was a direct connection. There was no loop stick or anything like that. And I put it on the collector, which is the output for that. I got signal through. So obviously that told me that the transistor was not conducting. So right there it is, right there. It's a 2SA160. But what I came up with instead, because this radio here is in much better condition than the other one, I thought, well, why don't I just pull out the one that's working from that radio, insert it in this one, get this one, make sure it's all, everything else test all right. I have to put the antenna wire back on that connection. That's where it goes as well. Alright, well, you can see it's working now. Now all I have to do is come up with another transistor for the other one. Just one meant for the oscillator. That's probably the best thing. But alright, well, now you can see basically what I was talking about, what the repairs that I did to these. And so as such, I went ahead, while I was looking for the Little Bastard transistor to fix that, I thought, you know, it'd be nice to go ahead and get the one to fix this one. I'd have 2 radios that way, and 2 working radios, I should say. And so I started looking, Bob and I started looking on eBay for transistors that would work in this situation. Believe it or not, germanium transistors are getting hard to find. I know you find that hard to imagine, but it's true. And like as such, what I came up with at a decent cost, I guess I should say that, I found several replacements for this at, you know, premium cost, and I'm not going to pay that for a radio that's basically, I won't say a junk radio, but it's not, you know, first class radio. And so basically they had, this one place had Ultronics. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. Ultronics LLC. They had the one I needed, and it was only $350. Of course, you had to pay shipping. I think that was $755 for just for USPS first class. But anyway, I was willing to pay that and, you know, get that. And I tried several times to get on their website and purchase that transistor, but it kept taking me back to where I started. It would come up with this little error message, said this, you know, company's not taking orders right now. And subsequent attempts had proven the same way. I even emailed the tech for that site and never got a reply. So I don't know if they're out of business or what, but they are still on eBay. Now they have a selling on eBay. They had that same exact transistor, but the catch was you had to buy 3 of them, and they gave you free shipping, but it was $21.56 for 3 of them, free shipping, which, does not add up if you, look at the price and everything like that. But again, I wasn't going to pay over $20 for something like that that's, only a $3 part. That was ridiculous. So anyway, what I did was started looking for equivalent or substitute transistors and things like that. The one in here is the 2SA160. And like I said, Bob and I started comparing notes and things like that. Well, anyway, long story short, came up with a Russian transistor. I know Shango's big on Russian transistors that would work for this, and the price wasn't all that bad. Matter of fact, the guy had 2 of them on eBay, and he was selling them for like $7.99, but he had to make offers, so I offered him $6, and he took it. So I've got those should be here Monday. That's the guy that went ahead and shipped them, and like I said, he's in Monticello, Indiana. So they should be here Monday in time for us to get this finished. So I basically wanted to use this part of the video to catch you up on where we were doing and where we were at. And I know on this one here, the loop stick has to be put back in. It fell off, out, whatever you want to call it. And I think there may even be a wire off of that. But we do have the schematic for this. So that's not a big worry as long as it's accurate. And like I said, I can see right now that's not going to work. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and do that. So, like I said, once it comes in on Monday, hopefully, I can go ahead and start back in on this. Now, the way this is going to work, it's going to be Monday evening before I get back to this because our mail doesn't run till Monday afternoon. So, I'll get in there as early as I can, get this replaced, and hopefully get it up by Tuesday that way. That's the hope, and if not, I don't know what I'm doing because this is my only alternative at the moment to the Baylor. So, good evening, YouTube, here with you on this Monday evening. As promised, it is 6:21 now in the PM. I just wanted to let you know that because I told you it would be probably in the evening by the time I got this ready to go. I did get it in the mail this afternoon, but with having to do all my other usual things, eating supper, things like that, I did not get in here till just now. So, as I mentioned, this is a Russian transistor. Take a little look at that. I don't see any markings on there other than a big 5, I think that is, or 6, I can't tell. But anyway, now this has 4 leads on it. I guess you can see that. The one on the back there, I don't know how well you're seeing any of this, but this one back here is a case stud, or whatever you want to call it. It just goes to the case. It doesn't connect to anything in the transistor at all. So it will be cut off. Now on the, it is much bigger than I thought it would be. And I do have room to get it in there, but it's going to have to stick up a little bit, which, again, that's not a problem, I don't think. As we've already discovered, the case is not part of the transistor, so if it touches the other items in there, I don't think that will be a problem. I hope not, anyway. Going to show you a picture of the pinout on this, thanks to Bob. You all know Bob. He was able to track this down for me, and even in English. So as you can see how the transistor laid out there, it should be an easy way to get it in there. The only thing I've got to figure out is how to get it in, which pins are what on the circuit board. I'll show you the back side of it. You can see that now. This is probably easier to see, I think. But you have 3 holes here, basically, and that, I think, is the ones I am after. I believe those 3 there. So I've got to, like I said, figure out which is which here. It doesn't, unless there's something on top that connects to. It doesn't really appear there's anything there to connect that to, but I'll have to look at the top, I guess. No, there isn't actually. I do not see anything that connects to. So I'll have to double check that. I think I've got the SAMs on this. I can't remember for sure. But there's another hole up here. I don't know how you can see that, but that's tied to that one there. So I don't think that's a hole for it. There is a little trace going over here, but I don't see anything looking at the other side that would, be connected to, because there's basically nothing there. Hard to see, but there's basically a big blank spot there. Nothing there at all. So, sorry about tapping the camera. But like I said, I've got the other one to look at also, but again, that's what it looks like the way it's laid out. So I'm going to go from there and see. Let me get off here and get some, bring up some, what do you call it, on the screen. So the screenshots of the circuit board here, so I can see which one's the emitter, which one's the base collector, and things like that. I will be back. Hi, we are back again. I have it soldered in. I'm going to tilt this down, show you what it looks like in place. There it is right there. So that would be, again, the mixer oscillator converter transistor. It is working, but it is not working. I can't tune the station in. Obviously, it's receiving though. But it doesn't seem to be tuning anything. I've heard some talk on there, but I couldn't make out what it was. I'm wondering if this is just running so far off frequency or something. Don't think it should be, but you never can tell. I'm not going to call this a success, obviously. It's not tuning anything. And we know this radio worked before because I took the oscillator transistor out of it and put it into the other brown one. And it works fine in there, so it was working. And I do have it hooked up correctly, I do believe. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty darn sure I do, because I basically checked on the, what do you call it there, the diagram. Now, that said, that's just if that diagram is correct. It may not be. That's a possibility. So, don't know. But for right now, again, we're not going to call this a success, but you can't do that. The fact that you've got plenty of radio noises coming in there. Good sound there. I mean, it's... There you go. That's the signal injector. It is not coming through at all. Like I say, I think what we've done, we've got this off frequency somewhere. I know there's a couple places I can touch on here. Find out pretty quick. Yep, that's working. So here's that's our base for the transistor, the converter transistor. I don't know if you can hear that, but when I first get near it, you can hear it, and then when I touch it, it goes away. I'm almost thinking that might be in backwards. I think what we're going to do is set this one aside. Or I don't know. I might go ahead and clean this off again and double check, make sure it's right. But I double checked it before I put it in there. I had it set up exactly how it went in there. And this is supposed to be the emitter on this side, collector on that side, and the base in the middle, I believe. Let me double check that and I'll come back. Alright, well, as you can see, I took it out and have it mounted on this side now just to see if that would work. And it doesn't. It does the same exact thing. Now, what I don't know, if I just put it right back in the same way. I could have. Very well could have. There's really no way of knowing. Well, I mean, there is, but the only thing I can do now is switch it around on this side. Alright, I'm going to take it apart again and try it one more time. Like I say, if I switch around on this side, I'll know that I have switched it around at least. And so that's telling me something, I think. So let me try that. Hi, we are back once again. I did switch it around. No difference that I can tell anyway. Seems to have a good radio action. I mean, you can hear the static in there, and every once in a while it seems like you hear a voice in there. I don't know. Transistor's not getting warm. So it doesn't work either way. You can be assured of that. Let me try this thing again, see if this has anything to do with it. So that's putting out. So I don't know. It does not work. That's all I can tell you. So maybe I should have pursued the Little Bastard. This is fastly becoming Little Bastard 2, I think. So anyway, we're going to put this down to we tried, but it didn't work. So, like I said, I don't know. You know, when you buy something like this, you don't know, is it the transistor is no good? Is it, you know, the fact that it was new, that doesn't mean anything. Germanium goes bad, I guess, over time. So, like I said, it is what it is. It doesn't work. And as such, I just don't know what else to do. I don't know how well you can tell, but I've got that antenna lead tied to the base of the transistor right there. That's the only thing that did. That there was a solder pad there, and it came off last time I took the transistor back out again. But the only thing it did was connect the wire to this. So connecting it directly to the lead's no difference. So, all right, we're going to end this here. I think that it needs more work. Maybe find a better transistor, one that's supposed to work in there. Again, you know, like Bob said, you know, some of these work, some of these don't work. It just depends. Oscillator transistors are very picky. And those of you guys out there know that. Shango's one of them. Shango knows on these transistors. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This is one that doesn't. So chalk that up to experience, and we'll go from there. So that's going to do me. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and we will